Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Shashi Jina. I'm from SAP Insider. I'm a research director in a continuing series of providing expert knowledge and thought leadership. We have the pleasure of having Daniel Metz from FORCAM, and the topic for our discussion today is sustainability. Daniel, introduce yourself. Tell us a bit more about yourself and the company you work for, and then we'll start talking about sustainability.
Yeah, many thanks for the kind introduction. My name, as said, is Daniel Metz. I'm head of development, especially for our product FORCAM Force Edge of the FORCAM in Germany. And yeah, we are in the field of manufacturing IT, MES, IIoT for more than 20 years. We have a collaboration with the SAP in that direction also. And yeah, I want to tell you about what we can deliver our customers and the SAP customers in the direction of sustainability.
Excellent. A pleasure to have you, Daniel. Hopefully over the next 20 minutes or so, we can actually sort of uncover some of your thoughts around sustainability. Probably what we should start with is tell me about what you're seeing as the key drivers that is behind the sustainability initiatives that are out there. Can you just give us your perspective around that?
I mean, sustainability is a topic that is in everybody's agenda. We hear about it in media and also in my private life. In that sense, I mean, you cannot see it now, but I have a smart home. We have all the lights. We changed from halogen bulbs to LED lights and so on. So we try to be more energy efficient and yeah, more tremendous. In the last 2 hot summers here where I live I live 1 hour from Cologne, and we had forest, but in the last 2 summers, a lot of the forest was gone because of very hot summers. So sustainability is a topic for everybody. In a political sense, the drivers are, maybe some of you might know this, sustainable development goals from the United Nations, and the European Union with its Green Deal, where they target to be a climate neutral continent by 2035. And also we see that there is a high demand by our customers for technologies to support their sustainability strategies in their enterprises, especially in manufacturing. Also this United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 12, it is about responsible consumption and production. They name it explicitly like this. And as a subtopic, they talk about improving energy efficiency, and we think, or I think, it demands for data-driven decision making.
Got it. I understand. That's perfect. That's great to know. What are you seeing in terms of the sustainability targets out there that folks are trying to actually sort of get to? You know, we mentioned the Agenda 2030. Can you share some of the things that companies should be looking to actually sort of accomplish in terms of targets? What are you seeing with the customers that you're talking to? You know, we talked about material, we're talking about energy. Can you expand on some of those things?
First off, the customers come to us, and that is also our background. They are searching for technology and solutions that can provide them transparency on their shop floor. Transparency for their greenfield assets, but also their brownfield assets. The latter is actually a bigger problem, what we see, because these brownfield assets have run times of 20 or maybe 30 years, and it is difficult to connect them. But it is essential to have this connectivity to those assets so that you can measure energy consumption. And what companies want is, they want to save energy. First off, maybe not because of the global goals of the United Nations. First, maybe only to save cost. Energy costs money. So if you can save energy, you save. And also our environment. It's good for our environment. So by that, being more energy efficient is also a topic of CO2 emission at the end. And bigger companies, which are also in our customer base, have this as their targets. They want to lower their carbon footprint also.
Got it. I understand. If I hear you correctly, that there are three things that you mentioned that probably resonate well with me. One, which is transparency, right?
Yes.
And second one was more about environmental, and the third thing is more cost, right?
Yeah.
And cost optimizing savings. In terms of transparency, what I'd be interested to learn about is what is FORCAM doing? Can you describe some of the strategies that you have sort of implemented or looking to implement to address some of these drivers? If you can share with our viewers exactly some of the things that you're trying to do.
What our solution is, or actually, as said, we are more than 20 years. We have experience in this field of connecting the shop floor and bringing this together with information and data that is coming, for instance, from an ERP system, from a SAP system. So first, what we deliver as a solution is the connectivity, because this is the fundamental basis for every optimization. There is a proverb or a quote, I can say, from Lord Kelvin: "What you cannot measure, you cannot improve it." So the absolute fundamental basis is connectivity. So we are very strong in connecting brownfield assets. And in the last months, we have shipped a new product, FORCAM Force Edge, which is also available on the SAP store, by the way, where we offer this. We have it in our IIoT solution also, but we offer it now also as a separate standalone product, which you can combine with other SAP products, especially SAP Digital Manufacturing Cloud, for instance. Secondly, this connectivity must be done. Companies want to achieve connectivity efficiently. So it should not cost days or weeks to connect an asset. So for that, we have invented a machine repository with which you can quick and easily roll out this solution. You can connect all your assets on your shop floor easily and quickly. And lastly, we deliver the energy data and are able to attribute this energy data per production order or per product, because who is responsible for the energy consumption, for which products a company produced energy was consumed. So it is important to know that, and we are capable of doing these things.
That's good to know. So if I were to actually summarize what you're saying is the first part is connectivity. The second part is to actually sort of have the ability to implement it quickly.
Yes.
And third thing is to actually be able to use the information to make decisions. Is that fair enough?
That's a wonderful summary of
Well, so let's actually sort of talk about connectivity, right? So what are the things that you're seeing in terms of connectivity that folks need to be thinking through, right? What are the things that FORCAM is doing in this field that would be important for companies that are looking to go into sustainability be thinking about?
A big challenge in this brownfield is, or sometimes maybe you hear that also as IT/OT convergence, means to bring operational technology together with IT. The problem with the OT is over 20, 30 years, or in the last years only, it came more into the focus that those devices and assets need to be connected. The problem is there is not only one standard with which you can connect those assets. There's another proverb I often quote from Andrew Tannenbaum. The nice thing about standards is there are so many to choose from. And this is exactly the case in this operational technology and in the brownfield. And we have over 20 years a lot of, we call it plugins. So we implement a bunch of protocols with which we can natively talk to these controllers and assets and can collect data. So in that sense, we contribute to sustainability, that we first make it possible to measure energy consumption. Secondly, the data can be used to increase the productivity and can be used to identify optimization potentials. And as said, it is also possible to show energy consumption per production order or per product. So you can find out the CO2 footprint of your products. So in total, an efficient and effective use of resources is required, and this, in our view, it requires data, data from the shop floor combined with data from the IT level, from an ERP system, from an SAP system, for instance.
Got it. So when we talk about connectivity, if I'm hearing you correctly, there's a couple of things that I heard you say. First of all, it's about understanding what the assets you have, right? Mm-hmm. And you have assets that are new and assets that are old, and having some sort of an interface or data protocol to actually bring the data across, right?
Exactly.
Right. And then the second part is actually how you can actually use that data to make decisions, right?
Yes.
What is the challenges that you see in terms of the data aggregation part and actually sort of creating the front end capabilities to measure energy consumption? What's your experience around that? Because I would think that is probably the value add that people are actually sort of looking for.
What we before we started our closer collaboration with the SAP, we used our connectivity capabilities and our ability to smoothly access energy data or data in our IIoT solution. Means that is the place where we aggregate the energy data and align it or combine it with data from an ERP system with this operational context data, so that you can build up reports that show you when in which shift, in the early shift, in the late shift, where you consumed what, for which materials you produced, you consumed what. That is this part. If we talk about SAP Digital Manufacturing Cloud, our solution Force Edge will deliver that data, you can say the energy consumption data, to the SAP system that will do this aggregation and on that level, we can say.
Yeah, I totally understand. I think that with the increase of number of devices that are out there, right? I suspect that you're not just looking at manufacturing assets, you're looking at distribution assets, and you're trying to bring all that data across.
Yeah.
And actually probably connecting that data to the SAP side and normalizing it in some form that is usable.
Yes, exactly. That is exactly what we do. We transform the data also. So for SAP Digital Manufacturing Cloud, for instance, it is transparent if this data was coming from a from an asset talking Siemens S7 protocol, or is it an Allen Bradley protocol. This is transparent to the IT system, to the SAP DMC, because it doesn't need to know that information. But it needs the energy consumption data in real time that it needs to do decisions and to do these aggregations.
Are you doing anything to the data? Any kind of things around cleansing the data? Anything around curation of the data? Or you just take that raw data and then actually sort of put it into the next platform? Because some of our SAP community members probably are asking and sourcing is it's great to actually have this data, but how can we actually sort of ensure that the data is accurate, or if it's not accurate, at least tell me about it.
Okay, what we have, now I need to talk a bit about our architecture. So the basic level is we have the connectivity with all the plugins so that we can talk to different machines and assets with various protocols. Okay, 20 years old experience in this field. On top of this, what we have is a composition layer. At this layer, we can do some what you call cleansing, or we can also derive some other values. So we can take 2 values or 3 values from a PLC and combine it together to a third value. Or we can do some sort of composition. So that we can do in our, we call it composition layer. And from this layer, we go to a northbound layer where we transform the data in a format so that the target system like SAP DMC can understand it.
Got it. I appreciate you actually sharing that, because a lot of times there is the overall goal, hey, we want to actually sort of save energy, we want to actually measure, but the data is not very good. And you actually sort of having the capability to address that is very important. So let's talk about some of the benefits that your customers have realized. You know, are you able to tell me what kind of impact does your solution have for your customers to actually meet their sustainability goals?
What customers can expect from our solution: first, you get smooth access to the data. I think it is clear now to what I explained, that this force edge or this connectivity with the composition and northbound is a crucial layer in the business architecture, as it provides key machine data that is simply required on the higher level, on the IT level. Customers need that as a foundation to operate systems on the IT level, or exploit all the functionalities those systems on the IT level have. And they can expect real time, the data in real time. So it's not only we collect data and save it in some big data lake or database, and maybe after 3 weeks or some time you can analyze something. We can deliver this in real time. So we have one, maybe if I can say that we have one, for instance, we have one customer, BorgWarner, that claims environmental stewardship in their sustainability report. So they simply aim to realize a cleaner and more efficient world, and they want 0 net emission by 2035 as an enterprise goal. So, and the benefits they realized is, first, they could achieve with our system ISO 50001 certification, which they reached in 2015. But what I have to say, the ISO 15001 is an energy monitoring standard from the ISO. Very important, and what we can do, and I think with the SAP DMC as well, is that you can attribute the energy data, I have to repeat that, per production order or per operational context. This is very important, I think, in this context. Yeah.
So if I hear you correctly, your customers are not only able to actually sort of look at where energy costs are, but you will be able to actually sort of slice that data and actually start saying a particular order for a particular customer consumed more energy than others, and also sort of highlight which equipment or asset was consuming more energy. So you're able to look at that data in different ways. That is great. Yeah, I think that is a big impact to be able to have that drill down capability. It's excellent. So moving forward, what are the challenges that you see? FORCAM's, you have a sustainability strategy. What are the challenges that you're seeing out there that you can share with us? Is it just an implementation strategy? Is it a technology strategy? Security?
I can tell you what our challenges were to bring it on especially on the SAP Business Technology platform. I said we have experienced more than 20 years in this brownfield connectivity. The challenge was if you're on the SAP Business Technology platform or on any other cloud platform as well, it is all Docker and Kubernetes technology. Mm-hmm. And our experience from 20 years and some of the protocols from the machine vendors itself were only capable to support Windows operating systems. So, but this Docker Kubernetes technology is Linux based. So our challenge was to bring this our experience coded in software at the end onto this technology. But we achieved this, and so that we have a first release or shipment of our solution on the SAP Business Technology platform, so that we can deploy our solution from the Business Technology platform onto an edge device that it runs, because the Force Edge should run, or it makes absolute sense that it runs on the edge, means also on the shop floor of the customer.
So you're probably looking to make your solution footprint a lot more flexible and accessible, rather than actually sort of having a dedicated kind of platform behind that. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, that's fair.
Good. So going forward, what are the potential technologies that you believe are going to be part of your strategy to actually achieve some of the sustainability approaches that are out there?
Yeah, what we will do in future is, at the moment we have our Force Edge has the capability, what I described. We have the connectivity level, we have the composition level, we have northbound, we can converge in that sense IT and OT. What we currently are doing is that we also save some data or timelines or all this some historical data on the edge. Mm-hmm. This is what we do currently. And also, if we have this data, then for sure on top, it is also possible to think about artificial intelligence or more automated decision-making technologies. This is in our strategy. This is what we will do also next. And also on the northbound level, we want to extend it with for instance, the capability of having an OPC UA protocol in the northbound direction. Currently, we do it with REST interface or with MQTT. MQTT, I think, a known standard. Currently, until end of the year, we will do it also for OPC UA.
Perfect. Well, that's good to know. That's, I mean, I think it's important that you consider some of the technologies like AI, ML, and drive some predictions, right? I think that's what I'm hearing from you is how can we sort of manage, hey, an asset is going to perform in a certain way in the future based on historical information. That is excellent. My final question probably is around your relationship with SAP and SAP customer base. Can you share with us how you're supporting them, what work you've been doing, and basically, you know, SAP customers are interested to learn more about this. If you're able to share your thoughts around that.
First off, I think our partnership with SAP is really a very good fit, because things are combined that that really in an excellent way fit together. We have SAP Digital Manufacturing Cloud, and we have from the FORCAM side the connectivity and the ability to connect, especially operational technology. And from a customer point of view, currently we are in the phase of identifying first customers, or talking to first customers, so that we in one project or can combine our both solutions together.
Perfect. Well, that's excellent. That is good to know. So in summary, what I heard from you in terms of the drivers, right? Sustainability is all about, you know, ensuring that there is transparency, being able to actually figure out what is in the value chain, addressing the environmental kind of concerns that are out there, and to actually sort of have that, and the residual effect of that is a reasonable cost base. And in terms of technologies, I understand that what I heard from you is, you know, connectivity is a big thing, right?
Yes.
And having some aggregation capabilities that actually provide the ability to collect this data using some protocols that are out there. There's assets that are new and there's assets that are old, and be able to actually sort of have some capability at the front end to make decisions. Is that a fair summary of your capabilities in sustainability?
That's a fair summary, yes.
Well, great. Is there any final thoughts that you would like to share?
Maybe only one addition to the improvements or benefits that such a solution delivers is also, and what we learned from our customers also, if you start collecting this data and showing it, it's also a point that energy efficiency becomes more visible, and it's more conscious throughout the whole enterprise and on the shop floor, because you're collecting that data, and then it's also more conscious to all the employees in the enterprise. I think that's also important. Else it is a bit kind of an abstract topic.
I totally agree with you. This is the people part of it, right?
Yes.
You're actually sort of demonstrating to your people that, hey, you're making a contribution to the goal, which is to actually sort of meet the sustainability goals.
Yes. So
that's an excellent conclusion to our conversation. Well, I really appreciate the time today. I've certainly learned a lot from you, and I am sure that you know, we will be continuing our conversations as you actually sort of move through the sustainability journey. Daniel, thank you so much for your time today.
Many thanks to have the chance to talk to you.